Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Why Ukraine live stream. I hope you're all having a good time out there. I'm. If you caught any of my shorts today, you saw what's going on in my world. We've got little chickens, and it's farming season. To be honest, my my back is feeling better. I'm happy to say I'm working on it every single day. And this past week, for the very first time this year, I was able to go out and work on the farm. Caden, how are you doing, sir? It's great to see you there. Awesome sauce. How's Wisconsin treating you, my man? Il Pirata, thank you very much for coming. Real Dave Seaman, great to have you as always. Catherine, Anna, Kenneth, good to see you, my man. I caught your picture, and damn, I didn't. Hang on. I should bring that up because I actually want to show off your T-shirt. Wait, no, maybe I shouldn't. Let me. I'll OPSEC and everything. I can block out your face for you. Oh, Gregory. Thank you. Thanks, Greg. It's not 100%, but I've started doing. I've started trying to do mace training. It's all about spine stability and wrist stability. Yeah, Anna, as you know, we call it the facenda, right? It's kind of a funny little Ukrainian in-joke. Dates all the way back to the old end of the Soviet Union. Manu, wonderful to see you. Now, today's live stream, you guys, is going to be slightly short because of these power outages we've been having every day. It's just a thing, and it really interrupts the. Oh my gosh, go away. Sorry. Discord wants to start on my main screen. Look, Discord, go away. Speaking of interrupting the flow, when you're having power outages, it really interrupts the mainstream when you're trying to do a. Yeah, let's see if I can find your picture, Ken. You look great, by the way. Have you lost weight? You look like you've lost weight. Give me 1 second here. So we are going to talk a little bit about the news today, and then we are going to hold our raffle. Okay, I want to, yes, open in browser. Awesome. That looks great. Perfect picture of UTV and Ham. Oh, Caden, you just got done with the school year. Fantastic, man. I hope you did well. What was it, 7th grade or 6th grade? We might need a power bank fundraiser, Real Dave Seaman, for sure. Kenneth here had to wait a long time for this shirt. Whoa, I just zoomed it in. And I just want to show you, first of all, the first shirt was sold out. Oh, 8th grade. Holy crap. You're getting old. Caden, by the way, so Caden is my nephew. Caden lives in, I'm not going to dox you or anything. Really, I was just joking because I hadn't actually seen a picture of you before, Ken. But congratulations. My God. Anyway, so this is the shirt. And this, by the way, this is from Sam, and Il Pirata may remember these guys, Sam and Foma. Sam is they're both drone operators, but everybody needs a Sam, right? But Sam's a recon operator and Foma's an FPV operator. And they signed this T-shirt. And if I were better prepared, I would have a video to show you of them actually signing that T-shirt. But I'm dumb. So give me a second. Yeah, here we go. Sloviansk. Aha. There we are.
Slava Ukraina.
Героям слава.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg. So Greg says, on a bit of advice regarding recovery, don't push things too hard too fast. I had a friend that had a perpetual climbing injury elbow because he would start climbing hard routes as soon as it hurt less. I am exactly that guy. And that's exactly what I did. It's exactly what I did. So, my wrist is doing good, and I thought my back was okay. But last February, I was working out in the gym. I even posted a bunch of shorts of me working out in the gym. And sure enough, hurt my back. It didn't hurt my back. I mean, I didn't realize I hurt my back in the gym. It wasn't until the next day, that I felt it. Okay. So one thing I'd like to say is that if any of you were paying attention, which I don't expect anybody to pay attention to my channel very much, but if you happen to, you may have seen that I got the thing resolved mostly with that had to do with my Shopify fundraising page, which okay, for those who didn't see it, this is what happened. Essentially, they sent me an email. It was buried in my spam, and it was an email to check and see whether or not I was legitimately sending things to. They were checking to see if I was sending things or selling things from the occupied territories. That's what it was about. I didn't see the email. It went to my spam. It came through on April 2nd. And so May 21st, this past week, they sent me a message saying, so I could have resolved this issue right away. I just could have just sent them an email saying, none of my products being sold here come from the occupied territories. Caden, that is congratulations. You'll be in high school next year and get your permit, dude. That is exciting. That is exciting stuff. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations. Well, thank you for coming. Anyway, so my Shopify page is operational, but I'm revamping the whole thing. So for now, and I'm always going to keep the Buy Me a Coffee as a backup. So for now, I'm announcing right now the third drone raffle now. This will be the third drone that we have purchased for Ukraine, and it's going directly to these guys that you see in this picture. Okay, Sphinx and Dax, and I was literally talking to them 30 minutes ago. And this is the drone that we're going to provide, which is a locally made, Ukrainian-made FPV drone. And the total with batteries comes to about $500. So, once again, once the ticket, Caden, go ask your mom. Tickets are $5, and once we hit $500, we will buy a new drone for these dudes. And these guys are the 2nd Battalion of the International Legion for the defense of Ukraine. And actually, Dax is Ukrainian, and Sphinx, as you can see, is Belgian. So pretty awesome guys. Okay, so once again, totally cool picture. You can now, once again, buy things on my Shopify site. But I'm revamping the whole thing. So if you go and look at it and it's ugly and terrible, and the first batch of tickets was sold already. That's true, Real Dave Seaman. Absolutely. So yeah. So let's since I don't have too much time today to waste, let's start talking about the news and what's going on in the world. You know, I mean, what do you want me to say about what's going on here in Ukraine? Russia's doing its same thing. The horrible attack that happened. It happened on an epicenter, okay, in Kharkiv. All right, just to give you a sense, um, Caden, in America we have Home Depot or Lowe's. We used to have Lowe's. Uh, epicenter is the Ukrainian equivalent to Lowe's, and I've been in many or to Home Depot. I've been in many epicenters in Ukraine. You can go there. You want to buy a hammer. You want to buy a sofa. You want to buy a refrigerator or lots of things. And I guess it was attached to a full size mall as well. And the Russians just it's awful. 13 people killed, 43 injured, and they sent 2 missiles at it. So there's no saying, oh gosh, we were aiming for a military target. No. Come on. I mean, unless you're counting hammers and actually some epicenters you can go and buy like military gloves, the kinds that they're actually green and stuff. You can sometimes buy those there. I think I bought mine at an epicenter, in fact. But I mean, come on, that's a tiny little shop inside of a furniture store. So it's ridiculous. So let's move on from that right now, because I've had enough emotional shocks this week. And that, it's right. You're right, Gregory. Russia is trying to scare out the civilians. Yeah, and I think that's true. I think the strategy, if you could call it that here, it is a strategy of terrorism. But I think what their calculation. Oh, hey, Elf friends, Elvin Archer, once again, thanks for coming. Megavon and Melanin. Whoa, Bell, it's only 8:20 a.m. here, but I bartended for over 12 hours yesterday and didn't get to bed until 2 a.m. this morning. Well, thank you for coming. I understand why you're here, because Bell's painting is the thing that's going to be given away in our raffle today, which is freaking amazing. Just in case you guys didn't know or forgot. I'm sure I could find that. Yes. There we are. Yes. This amazing painting done by Bell here. And in addition, these collectible Russian warship go fuck yourself stamps, Snake Island stamps, and this flag. Actually, the I'll just show you the flag because it's right behind me. This flag, signed by FOMA FPV operator out there on the front line. So, pretty amazing stuff. And This will be mailed to you if you win. I wouldn't miss even if I did have anything in the raffle. I look forward to seeing you and everyone here. Oh, thanks, Belle. Wow, Ken, your wife it's her 70th birthday. Well, happy birthday to Ken's wife. Let me tell you, I don't know if Ken told you, but he told me, he said you don't look a day over 69. So feel good about that. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's a really awesome picture. And it is actually, oh my gosh. Okay. Aha, here it is. Yes. It's literally right here. And on the back side, it's signed by Sphinx, who's the guy you see with the beard in the guy you see with the beard in this picture here. Yeah. So pretty awesome. So let's get through the news a little bit, and then we will. Oh, my back just said no. Sigh. Okay. Yeah. So I really think talking about this crazy crap. Yeah, I think that Putin's goal here is, they can't take a city of 1 million people. They know they can't. Or 1.5 million, maybe, that Kharkiv has. Probably less than that now. But they know that they can take a city of 300,000 because they took Mariupol. So they probably think, yeah, if we can get the city down to being a shell of itself, a wreck, a place where nobody wants to live, then yeah, we can probably take it over. That's probably their calculation, I would imagine. I would imagine. Now, moving on, I don't believe a thing Elon Musk says anymore, which is sad. I used to really like that guy, man. But SpaceX allocates significant resources to combat Russian attempts to jam Starlink in Ukraine. And I'm sure they do. If it's good, they damn well better. That's what our government, the United States government, is paying them for. Okay. Now, what significant means, who knows? But they have a contract and they have to fulfill it. And if Starlink doesn't work, it's on them. But there's also, obviously, yeah, there's a new raffle, dude. Manu. New raffle, my man. That's what is up. The third raffle to buy a drone. And I'm working on planning out the next two. In fact, the last two raffles here have been FPV drones. The next two, I'm hoping, are going to be reconnaissance drones. After this raffle, the next two after that, and they're going to go to 2 different units. I'm already talking with those units and what exactly what they want and what we can provide for them and all of that stuff. And on my Shopify site, that's where I'm going to switch over to providing drone parts. But I have to find out what the drone parts are that they need. So I wanted to do it this month, but it's going to have to be next month. I'm going to go back to Sloviansk and meet with the drone team out there, tour their just talking about this here. I'm gonna tour their site, their lab, if you will, and get a sense of what their needs are. And that will hopefully happen in 2 weeks. I wanted to do it earlier, but I have to renew my residence permit for Ukraine. And I didn't realize it, but I have to get it done literally tomorrow. So I have to go on a big trip and travel and stuff, and it's not too bad, but it'll take half a day. So there we are. This situation though with SpaceX is pretty revealing, because I want to bring up the kind of how this electronic warfare space race is ramping up, and so talking about these glide bombs, not just GLSTB, but now we're also finding out HIMARS, okay, are having problems hitting their targets. Yeah, Cheryl, you're right. This whole war is narcissistic revenge, not just by Putin. I'm sorry to say. Unfortunately, it's the whole shebang, the whole country. I mean, the majority of Russians. They're resentful towards Ukrainians for destroying their empire. They never forget that it was Ukraine that voted first to leave the Soviet Union. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Ukrainian soldiers said they lost all communication just before Russians crossed the border. Well, it's very simple. It's just Russians have advanced in their jamming capability on a massive scale, and in many ways they just blast at all frequencies. That's what they do. I've dealt with it myself in my career, not in a war setting, but certainly had the situation where had got jammed on literally every possible frequency and some impossible frequencies as well, and that wasn't even a warfare. So it's doable. It's actually not really that sophisticated of a tactic. What's kind of shocking is that the U.S. Army and armed forces didn't think about this and didn't plan for this. I hope they're going back to the drawing board now real quick, because they're, and the U.S. just sent 2 more HIMARS, or Ukraine just got 2 more HIMARS, two more HIMARS systems. But what's that going to do if Cheryl, I think I know what you're saying there. The mushroom. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, but yeah, so the HIMARS, and then there's another one. There's several. And the thing is, GPS has always been an easily blocked signal. Incredibly easily blocked. I know I've blocked it with my own body, like just getting in between a HIMARS sensor. Sorry, I'm looking at the words here on my screen. Is getting in between a GPS antenna or GPS sensor, and most GPS satellites ride low on the horizon. So it's pretty easy to block them, because they're in a geostationary orbit. The way they orbit the Earth necessarily is like, what is it, like 30,000 kilometers in geostationary orbit, and kind of like along the equator of the Earth. So really, really easy to block GPS. And the US obviously is going to have to, I mean, this isn't just a hole in Ukraine's defenses. This is a massive hole in NATO's defenses itself. It's a real thing. So but this technological war, which is what I want to just talk about today, is really ramping up. And this this business about Chinese satellites. Yeah. So both Chinese and Russian satellites have been found to be tracking US and NATO satellites. Okay. Second, apparently China has been working on effectively, let's see, China has developed robotic satellites that can be used for military purposes, like grappling another satellite. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate that very much. And it is a very amazing quote from let's see, in a moment of candor at the annual national congresses in Beijing, the former general director of China's lunar exploration missions, Yi Peijian, asserted, the cosmos is an ocean. The moon is the Daoyou Islands. That's islands very close to China. Okay. Mars is Hongguan Island. That's further away, obviously. If we can go, but don't go, future generations would condemn us. Once others are there, once others have occupied, no matter how much you wanted to go, you couldn't. Cheryl, yes. Talking about going back to in the Kharkiv offensive, yes. And not just in the Kharkiv offensive, but all along the front lines. Every time the Russians attack, they lose Starlink. And what they said was they didn't lose it completely. It was just really, really, really slow. So that's, yeah. Jonathan says, so I guess it's back to cell towers and frequency expanders. I absolutely agree. I think that, once again, I've said this before, get a bunch of freaking network engineers and cellular guys out there and let us, just cable the shit and run freaking set up, little mini towers all the freaking over the place for cheap, incredibly cheap. Like $10 per antenna or less, Thank you, Ken. Well, once again, happy birthday to your wife. Yeah, you're right. So Gregory says there are two things that can be done to GPS: jamming and spoofing. Spoofing the military GPS channels is nearly impossible. It is also impossible to give a civilian GPS. It is also possible to give a civilian GPS receiver some spoof resistance. Yes, that is true. And the Starlink systems rely on GPS as well. So situation, I know maybe it doesn't seem like it relates directly to Ukraine, but it does. Because we need to see this war. This war is not just happening in Ukraine. The way that China and Russia see it, they're looking at the freaking moon and outer space, and they're saying, well, we replace the word Daoyou Island or Hongguan Island with Taiwan, if that helps you to understand it better. Like, they're saying, once somebody else gets there, they're not going to let us have it. They're literally playing a zero-sum game. They really think that we better go up there and grab as much as we can, because if we don't, nobody else is going to let us have it. Nobody else is going to, which is exactly the opposite of how the laws of space have been set heretofore. It's we have international law. So China's just saying, international law doesn't matter. We got to get up there. We got to conquer this and take it for ourselves. Really. What was the Chinese balloon all about? I think it was a regular old spy balloon that just went off course, or it was, just like these other little provocations that both China and Russia continually do, like declaring they're going to take over part of the Baltic Sea, or holding big exercises on the border with Taiwan and violating airspace. Yeah, Gregory, that's right. I guess that the Starlink terminals get slow because Russia is spoofing GPS, making the terminal look for the satellites in the wrong directions. Yep, and this can be addressed by hard coding the location. That's exactly correct. Yeah, there are other things that can be done as well. I mean, just keep in mind that they do have to send a data signal up to the satellite, and even though the data signal is going in this direction, if you have enough interference, you can interfere on the receiving end. And if you're just blasting noise at all levels, Elvin Archer, this is a really important thing. I wonder if low-Ra mesh-tastic, low-power independent cell communications would be useful. I believe so. And in fact, before the war, back in 2020 or 2021, 2020, I actually was working for, specifically working for a low-Ra drone communications company. If you could believe it. And I've lost contact with them. I haven't had contact with them since 2021. But they were in Kharkiv, and they were specifically working on getting a military contract. So I hope that I'm not sure if the company broke up, but I know that some of those people are working on exactly those issues. And I believe, it's nothing is foolproof, but I think that would be most certainly a step in the right direction. Low-Ra can be very powerful. Obviously, you have data constraints naturally, but that's how a lot of these drones are operating now. Is the data channel? Not to get too, I'm sorry for getting too technical, guys, but the data channel might work on over Wi-Fi. That is. 5 gigahertz or something, but the control channel might be in the millimeter wave range or 700 megahertz, something of that nature, or any other things. I mean, that's where the analog drones are coming in so well, doing so well. In fact, okay. All right, enough. Sorry, guys. I just want to put this on your radar that America needs to freaking wake up, because Russia and China are planning. They want to seize that space, the literal high ground. No, I'm not just talking about the moon. I'm mainly like low Earth orbit, because they know that throughout this whole war, we've been beating them on intelligence, and they know that they have to catch up there if they want to win. But China is doing a lot more than that. Okay, and they're also waging economic warfare. Hugh, do you think that a low morale among the orcs will be enough for them to personally pack up and leave Ukraine, even against orders? I can't imagine they think everything is going according to plan. They've had low morale since the beginning. That's the thing. I mean, where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. We don't want to go to war today. Here, I'm going to play the song. That's what I'm going to do. This is exactly the situation here, yeah? So, let's try. Oh, you know what? I'll probably get copyrighted, but who cares? I don't care. Where there's a whip. Look, it's in my top. If you've never seen this before, you should. I'm not going to play the whole thing, my God.
Where there's a whip, there's a way.
Got a better quality than that.
Where there's a wind,
There goes the way.
where there's a wind, we don't want to go to
War
war
today.
today. But the Lord of the lashes says, nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip,
There's a way.
where there's a whip,
There's a way. All right. So that's the situation. So no, the answer is no. Sadly, no. They have to be killed. There's barrier troops. Elvin Archer said, there's people behind them that will shoot them. They are also totally brainwashed to believe that Ukrainians eat babies and will, torture them to death. Basically, all the things that Russians do, they believe that Ukrainians will do. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Bell. If you want to peek into the minds of the Russians who are invading, you should check out the interviews of captured Russian soldiers. It's mind-boggling to hear what they think about the whole thing. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. So if you just do a YouTube search for Zolkin, and we have to find his English channel. This is probably a lot of translations of this guy does interviews with these with the Russians. Here we go, right here. There's one of them, and it looks like he has a whole playlist of that.
My name is Rick and I'm from Ukraine. The video you're about to see is a conversation with a Russian soldier in Ukrainian captivity made by Ukrainian journalists Volodymyr Zolkin and
So you can
Pyotr
watch it and you can just see how. So yeah, dubbed Zolkin's interviews. So he has a whole playlist just for that, and you can see just how incredibly, sadly, brainwashed they are. It's really crazy. Yeah, China just copies everything. That's what they're doing. So what is going to happen here is we're inevitably headed towards a trade war, because China is sending aid to Russia, and it's, proof has come out now about China's lethal aid. China aid Russia, right? We all know that. Okay. How is China supporting Russia after it was sanctioned? Here we go. So UK is, and it's funny. America. Who's the douchebag in the guy in the American administration? Jake Sullivan. Okay, sorry, I couldn't say his name. Jake Sullivan's like, or no, who's the other guy? Lloyd Austin, saying, "Well, I don't know about that." But yeah, China's totally has been for a long time, and we know it. Okay, and the only reason that America hasn't taken the steps that it needs to stop China is because they know what is gonna come, what will come, and you and me and everyone else needs to be prepared for it, and that will be a massive flood of the market of industrial goods. It will become, talking about us, the EU and the United States, the primary dumping ground for China's exorbitant overproduction of industrial goods, with a flood of cars, batteries, and clean tech components, together posing an existential threat to the European social market model. Now, this, you might say, oh, wow, this is a good thing, right? It's great. But no, not necessarily, you know. And then to have, if the United States or Europe or Europe decide to impose sanctions on China and start blocking Chinese goods, then that will have an opposite effect and flip the economy the other way and create massive instability in our economies. And everybody likes their cheap plastic shit at Walmart, you know? And yeah, Anna, you're exactly right. Huge investments for years in China. The elite don't want to lose on their investments. Exactly. Yeah, Richard. Yeah, yes. This is a good statement here. Biden wisely fired a shot across China's bow with a 100% tariff increase on Chinese EVs last week. Will they care? No, they will adapt. Jonathan says trade war will cost us money and convenience, but it will cost China everything. Yes, yeah, no, China. It's a losing bet for China, but they as long as they can jail as many protesters as they want for as long as they want, they know they can just hold on to. That's interesting, Cheryl. Stopping immigration causes inflation. True. If they can just hold on and ride it out, you know, they're going to be okay. China is already, so, I mean, not to get all China about this whole thing. China nationalizing real estate, right? That's their tactic, right? They're just, right? So China is nationalizing real estate as their property. That, you know, they had a big real estate bubble, and that's their solution. That's what they're doing. We are literally seeing a return to communism, or I would rather say, I don't think that neither China nor the Soviet Union achieved anything like what Karl Marx or what have you would have called communism. Instead, it was totalitarianism. It was fascism, in fact, like any other, you know. Yeah, it's a big real estate Ponzi scheme. Exactly correct. So we need to just be aware of that. And then here we have this now. You know, Hungary wants to redefine its NATO membership, Orban says. How the hell did we ever end up with a treaty where we can't kick people out of it? I understand the arguments against kicking countries out. Okay. But I hope that they just leave. That's my hope. You know, Hungary is working to redefine the country's NATO membership status to allow it to potentially opt out from the military alliance's deepening support for Ukraine. My understanding was that they had that freedom to begin with. So what's the big deal? You know, I think what we need to be worried about is Hungary sending whatever, you know, classified information they get from NATO over to Russia just immediately. I mean, they're basically just spies for Russia. Yeah. So many Chinese have been preparing and buying land in the West to leave the first sign of communists taking over again. Yeah, but that's you know, and I agree with you, Jonathan. And I know some of those Chinese, actually. I was married to a Chinese woman for 3 years. Was it 3 years? Okay. 2 years. 2 years. Ugh. Ugh. It was awful. And yeah, a lot of them are, but a lot of them are already in America, and also it's a, you know, it's the frog in the pot sort of a thing, you know. So the people in China are being slowly boiled, and just like Russia did, and then all of a sudden they'll clamp down, and then nobody can leave, just like they did with Hong Kong. So let's. Now here's just one last thing before, and then I want to get to the raffle. I reported on this yesterday. Okay, I did a little short live stream on it. I have not seen. I had to check and make sure I wasn't getting like a spoofed Telegraph website. This is on the Telegraph, is it not? Can you guys go on? What am I trying to forget, James? No, we're gonna have a raffle. That's what's. I'm not trying to forget. I'm trying to not forget. So, that's very interesting. Richard Stevens. I knew that Mitch McConnell was married to a Chinese woman, but it's Connie Chong. I mean, she was I don't know. Anyway, be that as it may. Ukraine to fire generals and send them to the front line. I spoke about this yesterday. I've not seen anyone else report about this. And I'm going like, hello? Is this not real? I mean, I haven't seen any other news reports about it. So maybe I'm full of it. Maybe I'm full of shit. Yeah, Manu. I mean, I shared with you my opinion about it, but now I'm worried that I just got sucked in by some kind of Russian propaganda. You guys go and find this article, please, on the Telegraph, and tell me that I'm not hallucinating or sucked in. That I'm my website's getting spoofed or something. Because I literally have not heard another single YouTuber report about it. I think this came in too late to end up on Ukraine the Latest, but I haven't listened to the most recent Ukraine the Latest, to the Telegraph's podcast about this. So, it would be silly if it were Russian propaganda. That would be stupid, because once again, like I said, this would be a good thing for Ukraine. Really, honestly, and any Ukrainian would tell you. So, yeah. What source does the article cite? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Greg. I will paste the URL into the chat. There you go. You guys can check it out. Cat Van Forge, welcome. Or as we say here, Megavanen. It's Elvish for well met, essentially. Okay, so Dimitri, you saw it too. Okay, so I'm not freaking hallucinating. All right. Yeah, what is the source? What is the source? With the released personnel, it is planned to replenish units at the operational and tactical levels as well as military combat units. So that's essentially they're saying that these generals who were let go, they're putting them at the operational and tactical levels. As I assume they will still be officers. They'll just command. And this is a really good thing if it happens, if it is happening. Okay? Because these generals will get a chance to go down to the front line and see what it's actually like. And then they can work their way back up the ladder of ranks. And when they come back, they'll probably be better generals. Leslie, thank you for coming. So I'm still looking for the source. You're right. I guess it's just this General Ostryansky. But I looked on Ukraine Forum. Okay. I was looking on the Ukrainian websites. Euromaidan. I was looking on all of them yesterday. Couldn't find any of them. I was like, maybe I'm full of shit. You know. Well, this is interesting. There will no longer be conscription in Ukraine. This is an opinion piece, I think. But what will be implemented instead, and how it might affect the experience of young people in the army? I mean, I think mobilization is absolutely necessary. But I see. In Ukraine, during the martial law, conscription will stop. I see what they're talking about. So this conscription, by this they mean mandatory military service. So in other words, Ukraine and Russia and many other countries, Estonia, Finland, these other countries, after you finish high school, you are required, unless you enter into college or university, you're required to take basic military training courses. And they're kind of a joke, to be honest. So at the beginning of 2022, the president canceled it by decree from January 1st, 2024. Instead, they were supposed to introduce intensive military training. So I just saw this article, and I think I need to spend some time like kind of looking at it. But it says here, students of universities of all forms of ownership will go into undergo basic military training. It will begin in September 2025. Boy, students they're not going to like that. Not going to like that. By the way, you can enter into a university here in Ukraine at the age of 17. You know? Manu, what about the prisoners pardoned and sent to the front? That's a separate issue. I've talked about that before, and I think we have to wait and see. I know that the way it's being implemented is not in the same way that Russia's doing it. Thank the gods. Oh, look at this. Here's a picture of how I broke my back. That's what that is. How wonderful. Wow, I feel triggered now. Okay. Of course, he's not carrying a 220-pound dwarf either. So, Richard Stevens, yeah. So German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said his government gave clear rules to Kyiv prohibiting the use of German weapons on Russian soil. Sees no reason to change that. Well, fuck them. Elvin Archer, I think maybe the younger guys being given training at school or uni like a couple nights, days a week before they are mobilized, maybe also set up cadets for younger kids like was in the UK. Yeah, so they were kind of doing that before. Oh, so Jonathan, so the general's article is on Ground News. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Cat Van Forge, I'm making knives to sell and donate all the money to Ukraine. That's awesome. That's really cool. I would love to see one of your knives, dude. Or, yeah. We Californians, we say dude for everyone, by the way. If you're not a dude, don't worry. It's just what we call everybody. A fence post could be a dude, hate to say it, but the cowardice of Germany no longer surprises me. Yeah, but the German people are getting really fed up with it. As we have seen, on the Shills, speaking to the guy from Eric, he really talked a lot, but he said a lot of good things too. So, they're getting a huge number of donations, like $2 million for drones or something craziness. Yeah, Cheryl, I'm afraid Ukraine is going to have to go to mandatory minimum military service and a recruitment system similar to Israel. They kind of had that, but the way it was done was half-assed. And so if you didn't go to university, you had to go through some military training. So a lot of people would go to university to avoid the military training. But in university, men at least would also have to go through 2 years of officer training. Oh my God, go away. Windows wants to update. They will also go through 2 years of officer training, but the officer training was awful. Good to know, Kat. Yeah. It's a little bit. The thing is that training was awful, and it was like, oh, you just watch some PowerPoints and march around a little bit, and then you get to see like a picture of a tank, essentially. But I can tell you right now that young people in Ukraine are not going to like this. Some of them, I know some of them. I've taught many of them, but most of them are absolutely terrified of this war and will do everything they can to GTFO. Quite frankly, UK said they will bring back conscription if Sunak wins the election. Yeah, I think, not to get off topic from Ukraine too much, but I think Sunak just lost the election with that announcement. Like who the hell votes for somebody that says that they're going to force them to join the army? I'm sorry, but that's crazy town. That tank gonna happen. Really. If Sunak, if the Conservatives in the UK were not about to lose the election in July before, they sure as hell are now. That's what I will say about that. So anyway, so it says here, all conscripts age 18 to 25 will undergo basic military service. It will consist of two parts. So I'm guessing that. Let's see what that means. In peacetime, the Ministry of Defense set 5 months for the entire service. During the war period, 3. So it can be assumed that basic training will last at least a month, and professional training about 2. Basically, remember, the draft starts at age 26 here. So these young people are not supposed to be actually serving on the front lines or working in the military. Okay. In Ukraine, Russia has it different. They're drafting right down to age 18. I've even seen like 17, supposedly. But here in Ukraine, they're not doing that. But I guarantee you, these students are not going to trust that. Yeah, Gregory. I agree. I'd vote for them if I saw a war on the horizon. But that's not most people in the West. It's not. Yeah. Cheryl, probably because it was based on the Soviet system of recruits building swimming pools for military oligarchs. Thank you. Yes, very, very much so. That's exactly what it was based on. So, okay. Yeah, so that's what's going on in Ukraine, guys, and the world. I know there's a lot of other things I could talk about, a lot of other news happening, but I do feel like I mostly covered most of the things that that are on the docket, as it were. Okay, so shall we do it, guys? Should we do the raffle? Is it time? Oh, I liked the old ad. I had a really good ad here. It was a nice ad that was like, donate to Ukraine. Okay, well, we don't have it now. So, yeah. All right. Oh, Rick will be late to his stream tonight. Oh, that's good, because what time does he start today? Because I literally started an hour early specifically to not interfere with him. And I didn't have it. I was too busy. Didn't have time to see what time he was actually going to start. So, yeah, what to do about Sullivan? I think after the election, he'll be gone. That's what I think, Cheryl. I think after maybe certainly after next January, but maybe like November 5th, November 6th, you know. Petra, thanks for coming. Appreciate having you here. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this right now. Yeah. Let's have us a raffle. I'm going to wave my flag and here we go. Oh, you know what? One thing I didn't do is I didn't shuffle the names. You can see though, like Klaus Z, dude, he bought like so many freaking tickets. If Klaus doesn't win, I'm gonna feel bad because he actually last raffle too. He bought like a metric shit ton of tickets. Okay, I gotta admit, obviously I have no control over this, but now it's shuffled, and I did it red and black and blue and yellow for the Ukraine flag. So here we go, guys. All right. JPH is in there. Oh my god. Classy. No way. Okay. Oh my gosh. No. Oh my god. You guys, Paul won last time. Paul Gilbert I could not. There's no again. Yes, Catherine, again. Okay, look. And he just sent me a message. I know. Congratulations, Paul. Totally congratulations, my man. Really. He just sent me a message. Yeah, you were literally right there, right on the edge. Holy crap. He sent me a message yesterday during the stream that, yeah, seriously, Paul needs to buy lotto tickets. When I did my short little stream yesterday, I think it was yesterday, sent me a message saying he won that he received the prizes. OMG. Okay. Well, there you are. I mean, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, is he going to win again? Like, dude, Paul, I'm taking you to the casino, baby. That's what's happening. No, he won on Greg Terry as well? Come on. Klaus, if you watch this, I know Klaus doesn't always get to watch these live. I'm sorry, buddy. You've everybody put in so much. But this was amazing. Shocking. I will tell you this. If Paul contacts me and says, you know what, I'm not going to ask him, of course, but if he said, you know what, let someone else have it, I will do this again. And we'll do it again. We'll hold another raffle on Thursday. The election is rigged. I mean, if there was a way I could have, Klaus Z had 4 in a row, just because it was the way it sorted it. I don't know what to tell you. This was fun though. I'm glad we did it. I hope you guys had a good time. I want to thank everybody who supported this, whether you bought a ticket or just shared the, link or whatever. Really great. He prays too much. Well, I want to know what God he's praying to, because We all better start praying to that god, I guess. At least when we go to the casino. Holy cow. My gosh. All right, well, you guys all saw it. You watched it happen. Now, I didn't really oh, yes, I will, Bell. I will send you his address. Thank you. So he can get the painting. And he is in the UK. You should be aware of that. He's in the UK. So it might cost a little more to yeah, I pray it's the money god, yeah. What cultures have money gods? I don't know. I think isn't Frey the Viking god of money, I think. Anyway, I obviously don't pray enough to Frey, even though my my YouTube, or no, not my YouTube, my Discord name is named after the Viking god of money and big penises. But oh, the Hindus, yeah, I'm sure they have a god for everything, you know. Screw it. Well, you guys, this was super fun. Now, Real Dave Seaman said something to me, and about an idea for just, I want to like actually give away some stuff just for people who come and watch the live streams. And he was proposing some of the things. I have a bunch of patches that are locally made here in Ukraine that are on my website. And I didn't tell him I was going to do this, but I wanted to show you some patches that I have here. These are not the signed patches. Those I am reserving for the for drone raffles. But I wanted to show you these kind of pretty cool patches here. So first of all, there's this one, which I think is pretty freaking funny. Okay. It's a Catherine. No, Catherine, I'm not going to do another raffle today. I promise. But I was thinking about doing it on Thursday. Yeah. But I'm thinking about doing it for one of these three. So there's this one. Yeah. And this, I specifically asked when I bought these, I was trying to find raffles. I was trying to find patches that are not specific to, necessarily specific to a brigade. Like if you wear this, it's not going to, I mean, it does mean that you are part of the, what does this say? Minometna Bateria. So it's basically a mortar brigade, but Minometna means the minions. Minions mortar brigade. Minions battery. Sorry. Yeah. Bateria. Okay. I'm having trouble talking today, I guess. Yeah, that's what that says. Miniometa, so that's minions. Bateria, it's like, yeah. Anyway, I think it's pretty funny. So that's the first one. The second one is, I don't know exactly. This is just kind of a, well, it's a non-specific, as far as I'm aware, non-specific military patch in the Ukrainian army. But it looks freaking cool. Cool as hell. Oh, Catherine, I'm so sorry. I am gonna try to start doing live streams. I'm gonna do short live streams like I did on Saturday at different times. So maybe I'll do like a raffle for my short live streams too. Yeah. So this one here, and then this is kind of the one that I like the most. And some of you may disagree with this. It's a little bit controversial, but I think if Herb was here, he would love this patch. And what this says in Ukrainian is, free people have guns. Free people have guns. I saw that and I was like, oh shit. somebody in literally when I saw this, I said somebody in my live stream is gonna want this, and that was over a month ago now. I was thinking about you guys. Okay, so so future, not today. I wasn't ready for it, but future live streams will be just straight up giving away those patches to people. Rocking. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for coming. It's wonderful, and I still have power. I'm shocked and amazed. Maybe I should report on stuff for 2 more hours. No, I'm kidding. It's great to have you. You guys are fantastic. Could I explain the significance of free people have guns? Well, I guess you can just think about it. Leslie, I should sell them the profit to help raise money. If you go on my my Shopify.com, whyukraine.myshopify.com, you will see that I have a bunch of patches that I am selling exactly for that purpose. However, my here, I'll just show you. This is my Shopify. Right now it's a mess. Okay? And you can actually go in there and buy those patches. These prices are in Grivnas. But that's like $5, okay? Or that's like $5. This is, I think, $15 maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I can drop a short live link to the Discord, please. Oh yeah, the next time I do a live, unlike the last time, next time I do a short live, I will drop it in the Discord for you guys too. So, so yeah, so thank you all of you for coming, and it's great having you. The right to bear arms. Yes, that's what it's about. The right to bear arms. Hopefully I can find a bear with arms. Yes. There we go. Bears with arms. I if I have any more hair on my arms, I could have bear arms. Okay. Yes, PayPal works, but not yet, and probably not very soon on the Shopify. I've got to piece the shop. All of this works. You can buy tourniquets. You can buy patches. You can buy tourniquets for a unit. In this case, Alpha Company 1st Battalion. But I'm going to be putting up like this the drone raffle. It's all going to be up there. Okay. All right, guys. So Slava Ukraine, and thanks for coming. Do побачення.